Hello, everybody. This is the Sci-Fi Super Show with your host, Nick Tudor, also known as Nick Stens on YouTube, as you may know me. And to my right is Will Powell.
Hey, that's me.
And next is Houston Miller.
Also me.
But all three of us, really huge fans of Marvel, DC, any kind of sci-fi, of anything.
In actuality, there are only two of us in here. I'm going to be playing both the part of Will Powell and Houston. So,
Yes.
He actually has two voices.
I mean, everybody's got lots of voices. You can just change the pitch of your voice, make it differently.
My name is Francis. Okay. Anyway,
that's how you voice act.
This is the first episode of a new podcast that I'm hopefully going to be doing regularly. Basically because I have no other content to put on YouTube for the moment. And this podcast is about us just discussing sci-fi, fantasy, or anything we want to talk about around that area.
Sounds like nerd culture to me.
Oh, it's a nerd podcast all the way.
Nerd fest.
Woo!
Nerdgasm.
Alright, so...
With some of these topics, certainly.
Alright, so... First topic ever on this podcast, we will be discussing the new Spider-Man taken from Sony.
Well, not taken from Sony so much as they made a deal.
Well, yeah.
It's kind of like, when you make a deal with Disney, it's kind of like making a deal with the devil. Sony will never own Spider-Man again, and we all know this.
And Andrew Garfield's soul has been sold.
Andrew
With his body and everything else. He is gone, which sucks. Because
He was the best Spider-Man.
He is Peter Parker. There is no question about it.
No question.
Like, Peter Parker and Andrew Garfield are like the exact same person.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Same person.
I would walk down the street and see him, and it's like, oh, it's Peter Parker. But then I'm like, it's that guy.
You're Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's...
But, yeah, they're replacing him and rebooting the series yet again for the second time.
Except this time they're not actually going to have... they're not actually going to have a, whatchamacallit, an origin story. It's just going to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's just going to be there.
Yeah.
And he's going to be 15 years old now.
Which
makes no sense.
is incredibly young.
It is.
He would be in high school at that point.
He was a senior in high school when he got bit.
He was like...
Was he really?
The youngest Spider-Man I'm aware of is like from Ultimate Spider-Man. He was in high school. He was like a junior.
Yeah.
I thought he was always in high school.
He was in high school
or college. Yeah,
he went to college, but he started in high school.
Yeah.
And he was 16, I think, in Ultimate Spider-Man.
This is going to be really young. That's freshman, sophomore in high school.
It's like
That's
me.
That kind of responsibility. I mean, of course, if it's Spider-Man, we're going to talk about responsibility. That kind of responsibility in a 15-year-old, that could kill him. That would just quite crush him.
I know exactly what he'd do with it.
Okay.
Well,
but the possible actors that could be playing him, one of them is Josh Hutcherson.
No.
Yeah, I don't see that.
He's 21 years old.
50.
And built like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The only movie I've seen him in was like The Hunger Games.
I mean, he was also...
He was in Zathura when he was 15.
That's true, but it still wasn't that good. I didn't like that movie at all.
He would not...
Kristen Stewart in it.
He wouldn't make a very good Spider-Man.
He's not nerdy enough. He's too buff.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, really, he looks like...
He looks like he's too good for the role. Or he
looks like Flash Thompson. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah.
He's big and buff. He's a football player.
He's a jock.
He could be Eddie Brock. He could be Eddie Brock.
He could be a young Eddie Brock, but he could not be Peter Parker.
He can't be Peter Parker. Another person is Donald Glover for Miles Morales. He's the newest Spider-Man, except he's black.
He's the guy from Star Wars, right? That's Donald Glover, right? That's the guy they have in Star Wars now, right?
Is it?
Is that one of the cast members?
So.
I don't think
I know that name, Donald Glover.
I mean, he's been in some things.
I'm gonna look it up.
I personally really like the idea of having Miles Morales is the new Spider-Man.
I'm interested to see how they do that.
One, that would keep up with current comics, and two, you could include Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man because Miles Morales is Miles Morales
Childish Gambino.
Yeah,
that's what I know.
See, I really want Andrew Garfield to be back in it, but I know he's not.
He's not going to be because of the events that take place in the two worlds, and it just wouldn't make sense. But Miles Morales' Uncle Ben is Peter Parker.
Yeah,
and so you could easily just have Andrew Garfield, even just as a cameo, in there as as Peter Parker.
And if they have it at the beginning, I'll be crying.
Probably.
Just like a crack.
However, they have confirmed that the first time we see Spider-Man, he will be fighting Iron Man. It's, I believe, going to be in Civil War, actually.
It probably will be in Civil War in like
But
2018.
He has to be. Spider-Man has to be.
I thought he was on the side of Iron Man. I thought he was on Iron Man's side.
I don't believe so. Because
Yeah, I think he's on Captain America's side.
Yeah, because Captain America...
I know he's with Wolverine. I do know that because he and Wolverine are good.
Mm-hmm.
Cap's... the big idea here behind Civil War is the disagreement between Iron Man and Captain America.
About the registration of mutants, right? Or
No, just
superhumans in general.
superheroes. Yeah, just registration. And Cap says, because Spider-Man is the only one with a secret identity in our Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as we know...
yeah, I guess that's right.
Because nobody else actually has one. At least so far as things go at the moment.
Yeah.
But the disagreement was probably be between Iron Man and Cap. Cap saying, Spider-Man is doing a good job, he's cleaning the streets, let him stay unregistered, he's obviously good.
Yeah.
Whereas Iron Man's stance on the matter would be to have him, to take him in and have him be registered.
Yeah, because he's like a scientist and
thus the
interested in
fight
that.
between Spider-Man and Iron Man. And so that's the first time we'll see Spider-Man in...
But also,
our
Spider-Man is kind of like a
Iron Man.
genius himself, and he'd be interested in that kind of technology. So I can see how he could
but
side with Iron Man in that
it's
sense.
less technology's just like...
The fact that you won't have privacy anymore.
Yeah. There's lack
But then
of
again,
privacy.
all of his enemies already know his name. So does it really matter? Like, Green Goblin knows his name, Hobgoblin knows his name, Venom knows who he is.
Oh, Venom really knows who he is.
I mean, Venom used to be him.
Venom wants to be him still.
I think... But that's with our... that's with our understanding of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have
I mean, on
this
a
new
global
Spider-Man... Especially if it's Miles Morales.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows who he is
I'd
if he's not
really
Peter
like
Parker.
to see Miles
Yeah.
Morales.
Sure.
Anyway, on the topic
really
of Civil War and Marvel, Age of Ultron...
That's the movie.
That's
Avengers 2.
That's going to bring it all to a head.
Yeah, it's going to be
That's really going to
interesting.
kick it up into high gear.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going to happen afterwards, just because I assume that they'll beat Ultron. That's generally how this goes, but
I think
that
this is what's
leaves
going to
them
happen.
Devastated.
I think this is what's going to happen. I don't think they're going to beat Ultron. He's going to be like a reoccurring villain later on, like Loki was. Not to that extent, but like a reoccurring
I
villain.
got this feeling
because he
that
can't kill a computer program.
Yeah, but it would be the beginning of the end of the Avengers. Like, they would be fighting each other, and that'd be the start of it.
I've got a feeling they'll end up having to bring in some of the new Avengers to help with Ultron, which would mean Wolverine, and it would mean Spider-Man.
But at the
Spider-Man.
moment, we don't have...
Which would also lead
and
into
Guardians of
Civil
the
War.
Galaxy. They eventually
At the
have
moment, Age of Ultron is only our Avengers and Vision.
Yeah.
Which
So-
he's one of the first ones to join.
Scarlet,
I mean,
and
he is
Scarlet
one-
Witch.
and Scarlet Witch and
Quicksilver.
And Quicksilver,
Which
which
is
is
going to be
kind
really
of a
cool.
weird
And see,
addition.
they're called...
That's interesting.
For
They
the
were-
beginning.
At the
They
end
were
of
the-
Cap 2, they're called Miracles instead of Mutants because Fox still owns...
The word
Yeah.
mutants.
They own all of
X-Men stuff.
X-Men.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting
Get your
how
shit
they
together,
get...
Fox.
It'll be interesting how they get Wolverine in there.
Yeah.
Because if they don't have Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine, everyone will
wasn't
riot.
the Wolverine? Wasn't that Marvel? That was Marvel.
Was
mean,
it?
yeah.
it's all Marvel.
Was it?
X-Men
Well,
is
yeah,
Marvel.
Yeah.
is
It's Marvel
X-Men.
Cinematic. It's Marvel Studios, but through different things. And
And they couldn't really have it. They couldn't really
goodness.
have it together.
Disney only owns the Avengers and now Spider-Man, and
They
then,
own
like,
everything
some of the
but
other
X-Men,
stuff,
right?
basically.
All right.
And Fantastic Four. They don't have Fantastic
Which
Four.
that's
either.
getting a reboot too. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and Johnny
That's gonna
Storm
be
is now
interesting.
black. Johnny Storm is now black.
All right.
Which amazes me. All right.
Yeah.
Now there's something I've really wanted to discuss for a long time but couldn't. It's Neil Blomkamp's newest movie, Alien 5.
Yeah.
Which I'm really looking forward to.
He's really on a roll.
He is. He's making so
done
many movies.
So many movies. And he's
Consider
doing them
me-
pretty much back to back. I mean,
Consider
he'd
me
have to
useless
be.
when it comes to Alien. I've never seen any of it.
Watch Alien. You will thank me.
I will scream.
I doubt you'll
probably.
scream.
Well,
You know how nervous I get.
It's really not that
Well,
scary.
knowing you, the first time you see it, you probably get scared. But the more times you see it, you be more excited for it.
I'm not
Especially
afraid of the
aliens.
alien. Just jump scares are terrible.
It's not jump
there's
scares.
no jump
It's
scares.
not no jump
Alright,
scares at all.
If you pay attention, there's no jump scares.
It's more about the atmosphere and the setting up for the scare.
Psychological
really-
horror
it's
is
really
more the kind of
claustrophobic.
thing that I go
Oh, yeah.
for.
Me too.
Because it's
Very
just like
small
that gets
corridors
creepy.
in dark areas.
So it's
Gave
like
me
Alien
nightmares.
Isolation, which I
Well,
did
yeah.
play
Well, yeah,
some
it's
of,
yeah.
which I'm terrible at that game as well. I mean, anything Alien, I'm just like, nope, all right.
Like I was more scared about Predator because they're just so
Bizarre.
strong.
But if you notice, the
strong.
first Alien, like the solo Alien, before they changed it to where there's many of them and they're not so strong, the first one was actually indestructible. And I'm serious because in the first Alien, you saw that recently, Houston.
Yeah.
That at the end of it, spoilers, it was blown out of the ship and like jetted with the engine.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like destroyed. It was just like pushed back.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't
should have
hurt.
frozen.
I mean,
A little
yeah.
frozen, yeah. But here's
But the thing about alien biology is that it doesn't actually ever have to follow human biology in any way, or biology as we
see,
understand
you
it.
think that, but it
That is where
follows it a lot alike, though.
I mean, life. A lot of biologists would say that life is life, and so either way, you're going to have the same set of necessities to support life. But I really like it when you have writers or just screenwriters or anybody who creates alien races that are not, one, based on humans, or two, need those same necessities to survive. Like the ones that kill not to eat, but just to kill.
Like Predator.
Or, oh yeah,
is
just to kill for
terrifying.
sport. But
Yeah.
aliens do kill for food, but they also
Yeah.
just the intention on populating their species. And their reproductive systems are a lot like humans, but it depends on who they're hosting. Like, if
They're a parasite.
like in Alien 3, the aliens affected a dog, and it took traits from the dog, so it's more like a dog and not a human in that sense.
Interesting.
So it's whatever the alien comes in contact
So it's-
with that it takes
Its
traits of.
genetic, its genes must mutate.
Yes.
It's like
It's basically just like when you have
a disease.
two sex cells actually coming
Yes.
together. Like you would get one from both parents. So
Yeah,
you get one from
in
a dog
fact-
and you get one from the
fact,
other.
that's exactly
that's why
what's
you've got
happening.
the weird coloration of the one from Prometheus. That's why it's a weird color and it's got like a weird shape to it.
Oh yeah, the deacon, right?
Yeah.
But that was kind of a weird way that happened. It was
Yeah.
like a giant squid that
Yeah.
did that.
Which I don't understand.
Why would
It
you
would-
fuck a giant squid?
It wasn't. It was like it was in him
Yeah.
and then it was in her. Like it used him to get her pregnant.
It was.
It was the weirdest
was
way
in-
it's been done.
He was
Yeah.
he was infected by an android, who
The
then
android-
had sex with her, who got pregnant
It was like-
immediately.
It was like an ink. It was like this weird substance that they
Yeah.
found, and he it was basically what they used as the test
So-
DNA for the xenomorphs. And then he put it into the guy's water. The guy drank it, and it went into his system. And then he had sex with his girlfriend or wife. They were married, right?
yeah, no, I think it's just girlfriend. I don't think they're married.
She got instantly pregnant,
Y-
and
and,
then
like-
she got it cut out. And I guess that particular strain of cells was a squid type.
It looked like a squid.
So-
It was
Yeah,
weird.
it was-
Not only
weird.
do they merge the sex cells, it also seems like their genetics will mutate as well. Like
Yeah.
the full
It's
grown.
weird.
Yeah, because
Alien.
the face hugger, that's the thing that clamps on
Yeah.
your face for all you listening and don't know what that is. It implants the seed into their chest, but that's just the seed. But it also puts in a liquid that takes
DNA
sex
from
cells and
inside.
DNA from the host.
Yeah,
And
it's-
because of that,
really
because of that, if there's some way that it gets out without bursting out, like surgically taken out, that is a disease, and it's taking over their body, and it'll shut down their body, so they're dead anyway.
That's really cool, actually.
yeah, you can't remove it.
Yeah, so if
Well,
you get
that
face
sucks.
hugged, you're dead, bye-bye, that's the end of that.
Unless you're Ripley.
Like if you get
Unless
Spoilers.
you're Ripley, yeah, who's now part alien. In Alien 4, but
their mother.
But in Neil Blomkamp's Alien movie, they're making it to where it's ignoring Alien 3 and Resurrection.
which is probably a good thing.
It is a good thing. I'm disappointed because I like Alien 3. A lot of people don't.
It's not going to act like it didn't happen. It's just going to...
It's going to focus
It's
on
going to
that
move
movie.
around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how that would work, especially with...
Sometimes that has to happen just to make coherency in
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, isn't James Cameron still working on Prometheus 2 and 3, isn't he?
It's not James Cameron, it's Ridley Scott.
I thought James Cameron was helping. Weren't they working
No,
together?
I don't. No, they're not working together. Ridley Scott is really the only guy working on it that is major there.
Like, why 2 and 3? Why not just do 2 and see how that goes?
That's what
Everyone was so mad about 1. Because, like, it's an alien, but it's not. And I'm like, it's a movie.
No, actually,
it was a standalone
nowadays
movie.
people say that, but back when it was released, nobody knew what it was.
Until the end, until you finished it.
Well,
and then you're like, oh.
But here's the thing, you still didn't technically know what it was. It was just an alien.
This universe is massive.
Oh, it's massive. It's huge. It's only getting bigger with time. Especially with Alien Isolation. Because, spoilers again, in that game, there was supposedly one alien on there that you eventually get out. But then you find out that there are more of that same indestructible alien.
I mean, there have to be. There's no way that just a singular being came into existence.
But here's the weird thing. There are eggs everywhere. Everybody's getting infected, but there's no queen. And yet eggs are somehow being placed more and more along the ship by themselves. Yeah, that is really confusing.
It's asexual reproduction.
I know. It's just the queen is the only one that does that. The drone aliens aren't supposed to do that.
They're like bees.
Yes, but none of them mate with the queen. She's just a factory. It just happens.
Or so we think.
It's weird.
We haven't seen that.
I mean, I thought they were all females.
Of course, I thought they were going around having sex with humans.
Here's the thing: they could be male, female, both, or neither.
Lost.
That's true. Like I always thought that they were all female, and then once that queen dies, another one ascends.
Yeah, that's another thing. That there's a Praetorian
ascension.
Like there's always like a backup royal guard alien called a Praetorian. That whenever the queen dies or is in danger, that Praetorian will move. No, that because aliens can regenerate.
Yeah, I thought they. I guess AVP is a bad reference.
It is.
They kill her.
Yeah. Well, they put her in ice. And
no, I mean I thought they were all like stabbing her, or was that when they were trying to move her? Like they busted. That's
when they were trying to bust her out of.
Okay, because I was saying they were I thought that they were killing her.
No. The queen
were they just busting like the egg sac off or something?
No, because the queen could do that herself.
Oh well, I was gonna say she was bleeding because they were like.
Yeah, they were biting her out of the chain so that her acid blood would melt it.
Gotcha.
See, the aliens are stupid. Cool. Except for the queen, who is extremely smart.
Think the Flood.
Yeah,
they basically get all of their intelligence from her. The Grave Mind.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, that's enough of Alien. I've got enough thoughts about that. So now we're going to be talking about Daredevil.
Ah, yes. The Netflix.
The Netflix series. That Murdoch the Daredevil.
Constantly walking into doors.
See, when they announced it...
I just got an image of a blind Matt Murdock just going like, I'll be with you in a minute. he's like hearing a robbery. He's like, I'll be with you in a minute.
He is technically blind, so he has to act blind at some points. Of course, blind people don't really run into things. They're pretty good about that stuff.
But yeah, I always thought that...
Okay, so when they first announced Daredevil, everybody said... I asked all of you guys.
Shut your face.
Everybody was like, "It's going to be terrible."
Like the movie.
It's going to be like the movie, and I was like, "No." They said it's not going to be like the movie, guys.
But it is going to be like the movie, though.
I mean, yes, it's the same storyline. You have to follow the Daredevil storyline.
What about the movie? I'm acting as the people. What about the movie? The movie is there. The movie has existed.
Now that more stuff's come out, everybody's like,
movie?
This is actually really
That's
cool.
A good point.
I think it's going to be fantastic.
I'll sit in for a few episodes once it's released, because I never really gave it a chance watching the movie. And I always liked the idea of Daredevil, except for him being
really
a blind person.
I mean, he's vigilante justice, but he's like lawful good justice.
He's like Spider-Man and
He's
Batman.
more chaotic good.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, I mean, he beats the crap out of people.
I think
lawful
he's
good
lawful
would be
good.
Lawful
good
would be
lawful good because he's a
lawful
lawyer.
good.
So lawyers are like
But he's more like a
I'll give you
pure-hearted.
that.
He seems more like a pure-hearted guy, though.
He is.
I mean, it doesn't
but
mean
he
you
does
can't be
kill. Does he
chaotic.
not?
He doesn't kill, I don't think.
He just beats you
Well,
to
I
a
mean,
bloody pulp.
He's like Batman. In
Batman's
that way.
chaotic good.
Batman.
He doesn't
Actually,
kill
he's chaotic neutral.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I would say neutral because he doesn't kill people. He doesn't kill anybody, even the
killed
Joker.
the Joker.
By accident on some occasions, but he tries.
On some
He
occasion.
straight up shot him in
He's
the
done
face.
it more than once.
He accidentally blew his face off with a revolver at close range.
All right, so it's only a few certain circumstances, but he tries his best not to kill anybody.
He does what he can. If they die, it's not his problem.
If it's to save other people from being killed by
and
that
it also
guy,
depends
he's
on
gonna
which Batman we're talking about.
True.
Here.
If we're talking about Thomas Wayne, he just killed him.
Oh
He didn't
yeah,
care.
absolutely. But I mean, like Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne varies. He's on all sides of the spectrum.
Bruce Wayne as Bruce Wayne. How about
Bruce
Yeah.
Wayne has seen and done some shit. Let's just say that.
Yeah, also as Batman.
Yeah.
I
I wonder, would Bruce Wayne kill a man
Yeah.
He probably has.
as Bruce Wayne instead of as Batman?
Unintentionally,
Yeah.
he probably has
I'd
plenty
say
of
so.
times.
On
I
occasion.
mean, Alfred has no problem killing people.
Oh, Alfred is
but
the
Alfred
best
is
of
a
that
badass.
series.
Alfred.
Alfred is awesome.
I watched I
Not
was
saying
reading
that
one of the
Batman
comic
isn't
books.
a badass, but Alfred, Alfred.
Clearly
Funniest
better.
thing ever. Like it was in one of the comic books. It was a little bit about Alfred. And I don't remember what it was called. I think it was called like Pennywise or something. Like was the name of the thing. Because his last name's Pennyworth. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
And like he's standing there and like these criminals are like trying to get into the house or whatever, and he's got the front door shut. Well, they're going to everywhere else but the front door. Well, he's just kind of dusting and he's kind of looking around, not paying attention to him. Well, they kick the front door in and he's standing there with a double-barreled shotgun. And he just goes and just blows him right out the door. And he goes and pops the shells out, closes what's left of the door, and then walks back. And then later, Bruce comes back to the house,
The manor?
and the door is like still hanging that way. And he walks in and he goes, "Alfred," and Alfred's walking up with the door, and he goes, "Oh, sir." Sets the door on the wall, and it's like, "Tea."
That's why I love Alfred.
Like, oh my gosh.
He could be completely badass, but still be like the servant to Batman.
No, but this Daredevil TV show is going to be great. I can't wait.
I hope it is. I'm going
And
to
it's
sit
going to
in
be
for
on
a few
Netflix,
episodes.
too. It's not like it's airing on TV.
That's true.
It's going to
Netflix
be
makes
put
every
on
show better.
To Netflix.
Oh,
If
I
you
can watch
look at
Netflix now.
Yes!
If you look at the Netflix series that have come out,
Mm-hmm.
they have been very good and very well received. Between
Yeah.
House of Cards, Orange is the New Black. I mean,
I need to watch
if you're
that.
if you want to go on a kind of more kid style kind of setting, you've got the Snail Show. My brother watches.
Just call it the Snail
racing
Show.
snails.
Turbo?
Turbo,
Oh.
yes.
They made a TV show out of that?
They did.
I
An
actually heard
animated
they
TV
did make
show.
that.
And it's actually not bad, having seen little bits and pieces of it.
Like the racing snails.
I think,
Bats I used to make in elementary school?
I think I'll just stick to Marvel.
Yeah.
It might be Marvel. Or it's probably Disney. It's Disney.
Actually, that's true. A lot of their
Probably
stuff
Disney.
is like Big Hero
Or at least-
6. Have you seen Big Hero 6?
Big Hero 6 was fantastic.
I really
It is-
want to see that.
You
I
should
have
watch
not seen it.
It is really, really good.
I have not
You
seen
too.
it. I really want to
Here's
see
a lot
both
of
of you.
cry in it.
There is a lot of cry
Well,
in it.
every Disney
Very,
movie will make
very
you cry.
much
If
cry
there's
in
something
it.
you like about it that's in the movie,
I
Disney,
laugh.
But it's a
you'll make you
fantastic
cry.
movie.
I laughed during Up.
Here's the one thing that'll get you excited, Houston.
Japanese?
Basically,
Yeah, that is.
it is the city of San Tokyo.
San Francisco.
Tokyo.
Yeah, basically. It's
World,
San
make that
Francisco
a thing.
and Tokyo
Make
combined.
that a thing,
and it's
internet.
really cool.
San Fran, Tokyo.
Make that a
Maybe
thing, internet, please.
San Francisco or something. I don't
San
know.
Francisco?
I haven't seen. I've only seen it once, and
That
that's a shame
sounds like a
because it is worth rewatching.
That sounds like a sex move. San
And
Francisco.
it is a Marvel movie.
That is true.
I
really
will
want to
confirm
see
that.
It's a Marvel movie?
It has to be. It's got a
It
Stan
looks
Lee
like
cameo.
it. It really does. Oh, it
Does
does.
it really?
It does indeed.
Oh
That's
my
funny.
god!
It's a little bit of
gotta
a
see
spoiler,
that.
but
I mean, every
I have
movie
to
has
see
a
that.
Stanley cameo in it.
it
I
is
have to see
technically a
that
Marvel
now.
movie.
Just because of Stanley, I
Now,
have
know.
to see
now
it.
they're starting to get Hugh Jackman cameos.
Well,
Which-
if you think
Which
about
I'm
it,
fine with because they're all
Yeah.
great.
if you think about it, Hugh Jackman has been in every single X-Men movie.
Yeah,
It's true.
because you can't have the X-Men without Wolverine.
Even in
I mean,
First
he was
Class.
the X-Man. Like,
Yeah,
he was
he is-
on the cover
he is
with his
X-Man.
claws crossed.
His claws make an X.
Yeah.
3 of them, actually. How
yeah.
can you beat that?
Well,
He's triple
more than
X. He's
3 of
Vin
them,
Diesel.
actually.
Oh,
It'd be
yeah.
like like it's quite a few series of X's. There's like one,
I mean, he
two,
makes
three,
three
four,
big
five,
X's.
six. What?
He makes 3 big X's.
3 big X's and then a
Triple
bunch of
X.
little tiny ones.
Yeah. He makes chain link fence.
That's true. Yeah, basically.
You know, whenever he does that, like in the comics, it always confused me. Because adamantium cuts adamantium, right? So if he's sitting there and he's going shink, shink, like clicking his blades together,
Interesting.
wouldn't he be slicing his own blades
No,
off?
no. Because I think it would be the same with metal on metal in real life. Because you
That's
cut
true.
it with metal.
But
it
know,
wouldn't
like-
do that.
adamantium does cut
It cuts itself.
adamantium.
It's the only thing that
But
can cut
it's not just adamantium. It is adamantium and bone.
But it would
which is
cut
the
straight through.
Which is the difference between, like, Cap's shield is adamantium and vibranium.
No, yeah, it's
Yeah,
vibranium.
it's
It's not.
vibranium.
It's not adamantium. It's just vibranium.
I thought it was adamantium and vibranium.
No, because
It was the
every
only-
It's
every
both.
single piece of adamantium was given to Wolverine and Deadpool of sorts. But like,
Well, in
Really?
in Origins, well, it was also put in Lady Deathstrike. Like
That's true,
adamantium's
that's true.
adamantium's a
Adamantium
thing. Vibranium is the only thing that.
yeah,
that's the only
that's
thing.
the thing
Really?
that the
The
Winter
only thing-
Soldier and Captain
The
America
only
have.
thing that is made out of vibranium that exists on Earth is Cap's shield.
but I
And
thought it was
Winter
Cap.
Soldier's arm.
I thought that
actually.
was-
it has a little bit of vibranium on
Yeah.
it.
See, I thought the big deal about Cap's shield and like why it can never be replaced is because
Oh, it's
it
the
is
vibranium
the
and
only
adamantium.
combination of adamantium and vibranium.
Yeah.
They did
but-
that because Wolverine.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
in case, because Wolverine
Because
did
it'd
go
be-
feral
yeah,
once.
it'd be similar to like Wolverine's adamantium bone combination. You'd also have the adamantium vibranium combination,
Mm-hmm.
so they wouldn't cut each other.
Also, remember in
That's
the
true.
Wolverine where
Yeah.
he's fighting the Silver Samurai? That whole thing was adamantium.
Yes, there's a lot of
And
adamantium.
that's
There's
so-
just
No.
there's no vibranium.
And in contrary to
Yeah.
what you were talking about, the adamantium claws against each other,
Yeah.
that was a big adamantium sword that it was slicing into him. But unless it was hot, it was just catching it.
See, that doesn't make any sense.
Like I said, it would be just metal
I have a
on
question.
metal.
Because
it's so
it's the only
indestructible.
thing it can cut itself, though, is the thing. So if he
So,
was actually made
If
out-
it's hot enough, though. If it's hot enough, it will cut through. But if it's the same temperature, it'll
because
stay the same.
he cuts through Wolverines.
If it's, like, superheated.
That makes no sense.
Marvel makes no sense.
The
I mean, a lot of Marvel stuff does.
The
That
whole vibranium and adamantium stuff in Marvel doesn't ever make a lot of sense, and it never really has.
Well, like, the Marvel-
just because it's really, really confusing.
the Marvel Ultimate Avengers cartoon movies that they did,
Mm-hmm.
the reason that Cap Shield's made out of vibranium and the reason they have the vibranium is
Yeah.
because the Nazis were actually aliens. Like a lot of Nazis, there was a Nazi sale of Hydra that was
I mean,
aliens, and it was part of
It's
their
not
ship.
surprising. Look at Peter Quill or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what his name is.
Yeah,
Star-Lord. We'll go with that.
Star-Lord, yes. You can call me Star-Lord.
Star-Lord. You know,
So
I think
there's-
his
there's
contacts
a-
are made of adamantium.
that's bad. That's Superman.
No,
He got shot in
okay.
the eye.
Oh, that's true.
That
Or-
was the
remember that-
stupidest thing.
remember
He's like
that-
stands there and lets the guy shoot him in the eye. He's like, ping. He goes like, oh my god! Falls off a
Wait,
roof. I'm like,
I forgot what it was, but remember that parody where this guy was dressed up
Oh,
as
yeah.
Superman? And he was
It
shot.
was,
he was like, "Shoot me in the eye."
it
and he
was
got shot
superhero
in the
movie.
eye.
It was
Oh, yeah,
superhero
it
movie.
was.
He goes, click, and he shoots. He goes, oh my god!
Yeah, it was going.
Why would you do that?
It was going in
It
slow
hurts
motion,
so bad.
like in the movie, and it was
And
just
you
like
see it. He goes, ah! And you like see it go into his eye. It's one of those like it makes you tear up because it hurts.
It hurts, yeah.
things with the eyes that kills me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to Daredevil, Age of Ultron,
gonna be awesome.
and Spider-Man, and Alien 5. Sadly, Will, we do not have enough time to talk about Flash.
Yeah.
I am
Comes
sorry.
back the 17th, and I'm really excited because I've actually caught up, been keeping up in Flash. Not not Arrow. Don't really care for Arrow, but
guess-
Flash is great.
They should start calling him Boomerang
That's already a name.
because he just keeps coming back.
That's already a name
I know.
of sorts.
Is
In
it?
both DC and Marvel.
Yeah, which is weird. And there's like Boomerang 1, 2, 3. It's like, why can't you just come up with a new name?
Boomerang. Anyway,
That's weird.
but probably next week is when we can discuss Flash
And
first time.
Yeah, that's
If
true.
you would like that, we will.
Yay.
All right, so this was the Sci-Fi Super Show with your hosts Nick Tudor, also known as Nick Sands, and Will Powell,
Hey, that's me.
and Houston Miller.
It's also me.
Yep.
Okay, and we will see you next week.